Okay, I think we're live now. So I'll say it again, everybody, welcome to our Zoom social / navigating Patreon session. And Jenny Selig is going to lead us through that. And oh, okay, there we go. We were live. And I just wanted to put the question out to everybody who's watching in the chat or watching later. Let us know in the chat. We want your feedback on what is difficult about using Patreon and what suggestions or recommendations might you have for what you'd like to see in terms of a lot of questions about finding materials, finding lessons, or any other questions you have about it, because it's the platform's not really set up for searching. And so we might need to come up with other technical solutions for making that work. So, okay, I'm going to turn it over to Jenny. All right, go ahead, Jenny.
All right. Hi, folks. For those of you I have not officially met before in video format, my name is Jenny Seelig, and I'm one of Cynthia's community managers for Patreon. And I'm also one of the people who I did not create the Cynthia Lynn Song Index. I can't take credit for that, but I have been helping to maintain it over the past couple of years, and I've helped with some of the updates and things like that as we continue to try to figure out ways that we can streamline it and share information on it and that sort of thing. I'm going to put in both the Zoom chat and also in the YouTube chat the link, the short link to the song index in case anybody doesn't have it bookmarked. You can grab it and you can have it for later. I'm also going to share it on the screen here so you won't need to pull it up on your own unless you want to. But there I give everybody the link. So it really is just a glorified spreadsheet, and for people who are familiar with Excel or Google Sheets spreadsheets, it will not be, super hard to navigate, but there's a lot of information on it, which is why we thought it might be helpful to sort of go over how you can use it, how you can find things. And I do want to mention that there is also a post that we've created that is pinned on Cynthia's Patreon page, and I'll just show you where it is, that you can also look at after this. If you have not looked at it before, I would recommend just kind of skimming through it. It's one of our, here, let me switch over to the right screen on my screen before I share it. It's one of our FAQ posts that we have that you can pull up on Patreon. It's actually a public post, so everybody, not just even patrons, can pull it up, and let me show you where it is. If you go to Cynthia's Patreon here and just scroll down, right now it's pinned as the first post, and that may change at some point in the future, but it's been up there pinned for a while, and it's from 2019, but we've updated it since then. The information is newer, and it just says, how do I find a specific song or lesson used to learn the Cynthia Lynn Song Index? So there's a lot of sort of helpful information and screenshots and things like that that you can look at if you need help navigating after we've done this session. And of course, this video will also be available to people to watch afterwards as well. But let me show you what the song index looks like. I know some of you have used it and some people haven't, so I'll just kind of quickly go over how it looks and what's on it, and then of course I want to answer questions that people have both about this, and then you can also, as Cynthia said, let us know other things you want to know about Patreon and using Patreon. So there are tabs down here at the bottom of the screen, and I'm just going to kind of click on them to show you. It looks a little bit different on different devices. So I am on a desktop computer. That's where I'm sharing this from, and I've got this open in a browser window. Specifically, it's Chrome for me. It might look a little different on your phone. It might look a little different on a tablet. But I would look along the bottom or maybe on the top, but that is where I would find these tabs. And the first one, the leftmost one, it may or may not be the one that you automatically navigate to you when you use the link. I don't know if that's where you land automatically or if you land on the last one you were at. I'm not sure actually about that. But we just have here the highlights of the tabs. There are more tabs than just these 6, but we wanted you to know kind of up front what we find to be the most useful for people just starting to look at this spreadsheet. And we want you to be able to find things based on the level you're at, and we want you also to be able to find things sometimes based on, like if you have a particular interest in voice or you want to find the bass lessons or things like that, we've also separated out some of those lessons. So there are some notes here on what we think will be the most used tabs on the spreadsheet, and a little bit of language about how to search, but I'm going to show you that too right now, so I'm not going to read all of that, but I want to show you there's a few more links down here. Cynthia's got a lot of chord sheets available on the Gumroad site. You see a little preview there as I hover over that link. And if I were to click on that, I could go to the Gumroad site and look at all of Cynthia's available sheets, and you do not need to pay for them. You can just enter 0 when it asks you for the price that you're going to pay. And that will allow you to pull up any of those you want to find. And then also Cynthia has this website, ukulele101.com. I often get questions from people saying, I want to know an order to do some of the beginner lessons. And there are a couple of beginner tracks that Cynthia has outlined for us that are especially easy to look at on that Ukulele 101 site. So those links are down there at the bottom of that first tab. I did not number this tab because I feel like that's just our entry point, and then tab number 1 shows you sort of the public material, a lot of Cynthia's YouTube tutorials and play-alongs that are available to everyone, not just patrons. Are listed here. You see the songs are alphabetical along the side, and then it will tell you if there's a direct link to get the chord chart, where the YouTube video is. And then for some of these, for example, if Cynthia did an earlier cover and she wanted to then also teach the song, there might be a reference video. So maybe she did it for 100 Days of Ukulele, and then we want to be able to also learn it. You can see the reference video for her cover, or you can go to, you know, the YouTube video where her lesson might be. And if there was a level noted, that's noted here. And whether it's a full tutorial or whether it's a play-along video, that's also noted here as well. So those are all sort of captured on this first tab. And the other thing I'll say too is that this spreadsheet does not get automatically updated. Someone has to go in and do all the updating. So you may see spots where there aren't things that are filled in. You may see, for example, I don't do it every week. I usually wait until a month or so and then update it again. So you may not see the most recent couple of lessons or something like that on there, but they'll also be much easier to find in the Patreon feed because they'll be right at the top when you go to Cynthia's page. So the lessons that you would have to scroll and scroll for were why we sort of started to put this together originally, so you wouldn't have to just scroll and scroll. And Patreon has improved its search function somewhat since we first started putting this spreadsheet together. But at the very beginning, that is what you had to do to find lessons. You just had to keep scrolling until you found the one you wanted. So this was sort of our answer to that. Great. Oh, thanks for putting that link in the chat there for Ukulele 101. So then we have the next 3 tabs are probably going to be the most useful to people who want to find material at their particular level. I do sometimes get the question, so I'll just reiterate that the way that Patreon is set up, at whatever level you're at, you also get all the material at the levels below that. So for example, $20 tier people don't need to just look at this $20 tier tab, or you'll also probably want to look at the other ones, but we do have a tab here for everything that's basically $1 plus, which includes all those live lessons that get released at the top of the next month. Something I do want to notice that's an ongoing project for me, and actually Christine has been really instrumental in working on this too, and there may be a couple other people behind the scenes doing this, but there are often timestamps on the videos now, and so I want to come in and lay in all the timestamps that I can once they're on the YouTube videos, which Christina has often been creating. I think, Cynthia, you may create some of them too. But for me, that's one of my goals, is to get more of these in here. But just because you don't see the lesson breakdown doesn't mean it doesn't exist in the video itself. So sometimes if you follow the link, you will find the timestamps in the video, even if I haven't gotten to putting them in yet. And the
Jenny, I do think we can do away with that so that you don't have to update them here. You might as well. I think we just show everybody how you access it, or, you know, get everybody to access it through the chapter markers, you know? Yeah.
So let me show you an example. So let's say you can do a couple of things here. You can just scroll through and look at all the songs and lessons that are available, and sometimes you'll see it's a specific song, like Say You Love Me. Sometimes you'll see it's a specific skill, like the finger picking boot camp that happened in January of 2021. And if you find one that you want, you can click over here where it says patron link. Now you see on my screen a little thing kind of hovers here, and I can click on that. So that's in most cases what you're going to do. If you're on a device where you can just tap directly on it, like a touch screen, you may be able to do that. But often you have to sort of hover over the link and then click on the link. And if I click on the link, it's going to open up the window for that lesson. And then you'd be able to see the actual original post and any links that went along with that. And you could follow, either within the post often or up here you can open up the video, and you can even click on YouTube if you want to navigate over to YouTube and see it. And that is where you would find the timestamps if they're in the YouTube description box. So this is muted, good, because we don't actually need to listen to this video, but I just want to scroll down here and show you. So let's just see if there are timestamps in here. Many of them will have timestamps, not all of them may not. Yeah, this one may have been before we were putting timestamps in, but they would be in the description box here on YouTube if it has timestamps that go along with it. So
Yeah,
that's,
Jenny, how about you do like a more recent
yeah,
video, like maybe I don't know, Hotel California or something like that.
no problem. All right, so let's go back to the song index. Let's go up here to Hotel California. Again, I'm going to hover over this link. I'm going to click on it. It's pulling up the original post, and you see there's all the links that you can use, and you can also scroll down here and download the PDF if you need it. Just by clicking on that, it should download it automatically. Occasionally people have trouble on tablets, but for the most part that seems to be working much better than it used to a couple years ago. Then I can either, again, like I did before, go up here and click on the video, or I can also click on the link inside the post and open it up in YouTube. And then let me scroll down here and show you. It's just taking a second for my computer to catch up. There we go. So just underneath the video here where it's got a little description box, I can click on more and it shows the timestamps right there. And then I could click on any one of these blue number timestamps and skip right to that portion of the video. It also shows the same thing down here in a visual breakdown where you could actually scroll through and see how the chapters, which is what they call the timestamp portions, are described. And I could just pick one and say, oh, I really want to work on the riff, and click that and then get into it that way.
I did not know that there were ads on top of the video like that,
Yeah, I don't know if everybody's browser sees those or if that's something
Well,
mine.
I have specified to not have those kinds of ads. I mean, I know it's copyright protected, so the copyright owner can do that, but I thought I was able to select the kinds of ads. And so, sorry about that. I will see if I can adjust it so that it doesn't lay on top of it like that. I don't like that.
So now another thing you might want to do in a tab like this is search. And so on my computer, I look down at my keyboard and I'm going to hit the Command button and F. You may need to do Control F depending on your particular device. But for me, it's Command F, and it brings up this little find window. So if I want to see if a song is at my level, I can type in, like let's say I'm wondering, because I don't see it on the screen, if Take On Me is one of the songs that I have at this level. I start typing that in, and it starts to highlight everything that fits that description, and then I can use these little up and down arrows to cycle through. So I can already see green on my screen that there's a lesson from August 2021, and then I can go down and see, is there another one? Oh, that's a different song with Take in the title, and that's a different song. But you can kind of see sometimes songs might appear more than once. There are songs Cynthia has taught in different ways or done an updated lesson on, and so you might find it more than once with the same song. You can also choose with these three dots here more options, which I really like this. I think Christina was the one who told me about this. You can choose to search all sheets, and then you can search all the way across the entire spreadsheet with that. So maybe you just want to know if she's taught a song at any level. It doesn't matter if it's at specifically the level you're at. Then you could hit all sheets and do done, and then it's going to give you even more options. I think it's thinking right now. Let's see here. Is it going to do? Maybe I have to do it again. Let's try. Why didn't it do it for me here? Let's try it again. Take on me. All sheets. Yep. And find. Okay, so it's finding the ones we've already found on this sheet. Okay, now it's already moved us over. Look down below. It's already moved us over to the $10 tier. So now it's finding ones in these other, we're now at the $20. And if I, for some reason, did it move it off the screen? I don't know why it didn't show it there. There we go. So there, I just had to type it in again. But it's showing me now on these other sheets as well. I have to
Jenny, you can also access the find and replace from the edit menu.
Yes, I wanted to mention that too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but that is also true. Let's see here. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so we can also click underneath this top bar under edit, find and replace. And you can find, it's the same thing there, and you can also do all sheets if you want. So there's a tab for things that are available to everybody at $1 and up. There's a tab for what's available to everybody at $10 and up. This is done, the way that it's automatically sorted is with the newest material on top. So if you were just scrolling through this, you'd be going back in time to see what has been done in the past. Then here is $20 tier and up. And then there are a couple of tabs that you do not necessarily need to use, but well, this one's public. So these are some of like the videos that have been posted when we were doing the community jams during the pandemic. Those are listed here. These were all public Patreon posts and anybody could access these, but I thought it was helpful to have also the links here in case you're wanting to look at them. And then we have a tab for voice and bass. So this includes things from Cynthia's voice channel, as well as the Patreon only vocal lessons that the people who are at the $30 and up level can access. And then down below here, we've had a handful of bass lessons with Lenny that are also listed here. And they're at a couple different levels. You'll see the levels noted over here so you can see which ones you can access. And then this one may be overwhelming for some people, but for people who want to search everything all at once, all on one sheet, we did keep the Patreon Master, which I think used to be one of the only tabs on here along with the public YouTube stuff. So you can do the same sort of thing in this, and this just has everything. So I can look at Take On Me, and I can see there's about 5 entries, and here's one from 2021. And here's another one down here from 2018, and you can kind of click through and see, okay, well, I actually have a beginner, so it'll show you the type of post here, like I have a live lesson I can look at, I have a beginner jam where it was played, that sort of thing. So that can be helpful if you're looking for variations on the same song, or if you're just, regardless of level, you're wondering if a song has ever been covered. Other ones that may not be as useful to most people, but we keep sort of for archival purposes, or you can see all of the public YouTube videos on tab number 8. So that includes the 100 Days videos that haven't necessarily been taught by Cynthia with a tutorial or a play along, but you can watch the covers. And then there's also very old Facebook Jam videos that we have here that you can sometimes still find the packets for on Gumroad. I think the Prince Jam one may still be available. And then we've listed timestamps of which different songs got played. And then this is the last tab here. It has the Creator Chronicles that Cynthia was doing, sort of behind the scenes stuff. So those are all listed here as well, which are all available on YouTube. Now, if you notice down here on the tab bar, you can use these 2 buttons on the right-hand side to scroll left or right. If you're on a touch screen like a phone or a tablet, you may need to use your finger swipe to move left and right on that bar down there in order to see more of those. It probably, on my phone, it only shows like 2 at a time, and you have to scroll to see more of them. Let me look at some of the questions in the chat and see what I can answer. Oh, good. So yeah, and that's a great, I think it took me a while, Terry, to notice too that video at the top of the screen can just be, it can be viewed within Patreon. So you can either use it to navigate away to YouTube, or you can actually watch it right in the Patreon video. Where can I find this spreadsheet? It is pinned at the top of the Patreon. I'm just looking for the link again so that I can post it again. I'm going to post the link, and then it's also pinned at the very top of Cynthia's Patreon page.
be sure to save that link.
Bookmark this link. And I've
I
just put
think
it also, I've just put it in the YouTube
we could
chat.
also pin it in our patron group, our Facebook group, and maybe we can. I don't know if we can pin it in the community tab, the community page.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Maybe we can try
In
that
the
as
Facebook
well.
group.
Mhm.
We were also talking about, might it be helpful to have like one page that has all of the songs? It would be harder to index, but maybe easier to search, right? If it's just one spreadsheet or one tab that had everything on it, but it might get a little overwhelming, and I don't, this spreadsheet came about because people wanted to know what was available at each tier. So yeah, thank you so much to Jenny and the community managers for keeping this going and organizing it. I'm always trying to, find easy technological solutions to make stuff easier to find. And yeah, if anyone has tech resources or, knows enough tech, especially when it comes to like organizing data, let us know. Any questions and any suggestions?
I see one over, I see just a comment over on YouTube that's helpful, which is that Steve points out that the Gumroad database is searchable. So that's good to know too if you want to see which of Cynthia's publicly available charts can be downloaded on Gumroad. You can actually search on Gumroad.
And we can open it up to any other questions. Any Patreon related questions.
One thing that's happened with me is that I lost the voice lesson link, and I couldn't figure out where to find it. I couldn't, and I missed the class because I couldn't get it together to find a link for it. Is there a
Actually,
way?
the current class.
Exactly, yeah.
Let me show you a good way of finding that on the actual Patreon page. Let me go back to the top of Cynthia's and I'll just quickly share this. Share the screen with, oops, screen sharing has failed. Let's try that one more time. Oh, I see it navigated off of Cynthia's. All right, let's go back to it. Here we go. It says it's waiting for Patreon. Well, that didn't work. Try that one more time. Okay. So if you go to Cynthia's, and this was something we talked about, we could do another Q&A sort of on just Patreon features at some point. If you go here to the very top of Cynthia's page, you see there are some tags up here that we use within the posts when Cynthia posts something. They're sorted if we use tags on them, and many of these things do have tags, and one of the things that has tags is voice workshops. So you see over here to the right hand side it says there are over 145 more. I just click on that more and I look at the tags, and it's listed in order of how many posts have that tag. So voice is kind of up towards the top, and if I click on voice workshop, it's going to give them to me in order with the most recent on top. So if you click that, you're going to get the most recent voice post, and if you're at the level that you can see that post, then you'll be able to see all the information within there. Does that make sense, Donna?
Yes, it does. I think I did look there, and I didn't think it had the current the class for that day, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Donna, were you just looking for the link to get into the class?
Yes,
Okay, not after the class was already done, just before.
right, right.
Yeah, which that post goes up before, so it would be there
Okay.
before the class.
Well,
and
now I'm
it's a
just
better
being
place
really
to look
careful.
at the song index if it's the current one, because as I said, I don't update this every week, so you might not have the latest one on the song index yet.
I'm just being a lot more careful to save my links in a folder so I don't lose them. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We might need to wrap up there so we can get to the lesson. But let us know if you have any more questions. Feel free
I have
to.
a quick question about changing tiers for maybe just 1 month. Is there like a deadline in the month?
Uh-huh.
There's a strategy for it. So there isn't a deadline. You can change tiers at any moment. But because Patreon charges people at the top of every month, you will get the rest of the month and then they will charge you again. So for most people, if they want to go up a tier, they might want to think about, do I want to do this one of the last couple days of the month and then I immediately get charged that again? Or do I want to wait until the top of the month and get the full month before I'm charged again? So you can do it either way, whatever works for you. But it's that is how the pricing happens, or the charging happens on Patreon. So
And then also change it back at the end of the month, or change it to
you wouldn't
whatever.
want to change it back before the first of the month that you don't want to pay that amount anymore.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Everybody give it up for Jenny. Put some emojis in the chat, and feel free to keep sharing your questions and your suggestions, and I think we'll make this a more regular thing, and have Jenny come back and help guide people through, because it's been 7 years now, and there's just more, or going on 8 years, more and more materials. So I know it can be hard to get through. And Jenny is much more attentive than I am. So thank you, Jenny.
Thanks, folks.
All right, everyone. I'll see you over in the live lesson. And yeah, we're going to warm up with both sides now, and then we're going to work on we'll meet again. So hope to see you over there. All right. Ciao. Oh,
Hi, thank you.
thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you. Alpha the Galleria. Good to see you.